Hey everybody, what's going on? I know I've been gone for a bit and I'm still going to be gone for a little bit longer, but you know what? I wouldn't, or should I say, I couldn't pass up a holiday tradition. Today, we are going to read a book, a holiday book that I never read before, and I'm reading it for the first time now. I only picked it out because of its title. So today, for the holidays, I'm going to read "'Twas the Fight Before Christmas," a parody. "'Twas the fight before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was smiling, not even a mouse. All the trouble had started that morning at 5, only 6 hours before all our guests had arrived. First Mum shouted at Daisy to vacuum the floor before barking at Dad, nail that wreath to that door. Tossing tinsel at Daisy to hang on the tree, she chuck-tangled up tree lights at Sally and me. While her look of pure fear made it perfectly clear that her internet shopping still hadn't got here. Banning Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and Facebook, she pulled out the chargers, then started to cook. I'm fed up, you're all helping this year, not just me. We'll have such fun together, you just wait and see. When I burnt the mince pies, Mum started to frown, then the smoke alarm shrieked and the firemen came round. When we tried to say sorry, Mum just shook her fist, sending Dad into town with an emergency list. When the bell rang, we answered, "Come in, Uncle Bob." He was grubby and scruffy and started to sob. "Happy Christmas? I think not. Your aunt took the lot, both the kids and my pension, and we're still my yacht." Auntie Sue arrived next in a sparkling new Porsche. "Tell Mum life's such fun since I got my divorce." Luke and Tara, our cousins, said, "Move aside, dork. Roll on New Year when we're off to New York." While Mum's look of pure fear made it perfectly clear that her internet shopping still hadn't got here. Grand came next, clearly vexed and in need of a wee. Granddad slumped on the sofa and yelled for his tea. Techno Beats told us Uncle Trev and Pat were here. Trev cranked up his music and opened a beer. Their twins fell out fighting before hurtling in. "Stop it," cried Pat, "now quick, fetch me a gin." Mum thought this Christmas we'd try something new, but Gran sniffed, "That smells foreign. Is it cordon bleu?" Auntie Pat began tuttling and rolling her eyes. "The twins won't eat veggies, why can't they have fries?" Granddad slurped at the gravy and spat too much salt. Uncle Trev dropped his glass, grunting, "That's not my fault." Soon a big fight erupted over what music to play. The twins wanted Bieber, but Gran said Bublé. We hadn't enough seats when we sat down to eat, and no one ate Mum's poussin. We'd filled up on sweets. Granddad farted loudly, but then blamed the poor dog. Uncle Trev winked and proffered, "The Yuletide log?" Tara sneered at Daisy. "Your eyebrows are funny." Daisy retorted, "But at least I'm not chubby." Mum said, "Please, both stop it." Auntie Sue said yes. The two teens stropped off, one east and one west. While Mum's look of pure fear made it perfectly clear that her internet shopping still hadn't got here. When Uncle Trev claimed Christmas was only a fable, Mum answered by saying, "Fine, let's clear the table." Scrabble was scrapped when Luke called Trev a turd for claiming agadoo was a real 5-letter word. After Dad busted Granddad for cheating at cards, we all got together for a game of charades. I'd have happily swapped places with that kid from Home Alone when Gran cackled Joyous Sex instead of Game of Thrones. The remote for the TV then got broken because Sally switched from Die Hard to The Wizard of Oz. Cousin Tara filmed a Vine then shared it online showing Gran disco dancing after too much wine. When Sue's new boyfriend rang, Uncle Bob began to blub. Mum nodded to Dad and pointed to the pub. "To make midnight mass, Sue, you'd better leave now," Mum said, flouncing out, muttering, "Stuck-up old cow." While her look of pure fear made it perfectly clear that her internet shopping still hadn't got here. She marched upstairs, kicking open the teen's door, surveying the carnage, all that crap on the floor. The dog was at the chocolates and licking off toppings. Mum said, "No more Pokemon, hang up your stockings." Downstairs, Gran was snoring, her mouth lolling wide. One twin chucked in popcorn, the other supplied. "Leave out port and mince pies," Mum told Sally and me. "What, no whiskey and carrots?" Aunt Pat disagreed. Uncle Bob went rather white as Tara read out her list. "I agreed to an iPhone? I must have been pissed." Luke yawned, "It's a farce, who believes anymore?" Then the dog threw up chocolates all over the floor. Gran began to choke. Sal yelled, "Someone help her, quick!" Gran spat out her dentures thanks to Bob's quick Heimlich. Mum cried out, "Okay, it's bedtime, it's nearly midnight." "But it's snowing," said Sal. "Come on, quick, snowball fight!" They all ran outside, knocking over a bin. The neighbor's lights came on, the cats made a din. In the snow on the windscreen of Aunt Sue's car, Uncle Bob wrote, "I still love you, I'll never go far." All our neighbors charged out. Dad told them to F off. Uncle Trev threw the first punch, then bish bash boff. Hey, what's that? I then asked, pointing up to the sky. I stared up at a light zooming down from on high. Over the roofs of the houses came a noise like a moan. Was it a plane or a monster or an Amazon drone? Snowballs hurled from the ground made the objects swerve right and flip over and down, all because of our fight. A loud screech, a yell, and with sleigh bells all jingly, the driver was launched head first into our chimney. Luke helped me to clamber out onto the roof. I'd always believed, and now here was the proof. I climbed up on board and took the reins tightly. Luke got in beside me, the sleigh rocking lightly. I'll lasso his boots, Daisy called from above, but he stuck really tight, so give him a shove. All the reindeer looked ready. Luke held out his phone. Great selfie, he shouted, but Santa just groaned. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen. Chuck down the rope, Bob called from afar. I'll tie it round the bumper of Aunt Sue's car. We heaved and we hoed, and then out he popped, tumbling down to the lawn, and then everything stopped. Uncle Trev said, hey look, it's that bloke from KFC. The kids'll have a bucket made chicken wings for me. Santa spoke, no more fighting, and let's pull together, or else you'll be on my naughty list forever. He sprinkled magic on the adults, saying there was no Santa here, before telling us kids, I'll see you next year. Now excuse me, I'm busy, he said with a wink, and whoosh, he was up on the roof in a blink. Then what to our wondrous eyes should appear but the internet order, the last of the year? I'm late, said the driver, but you'll find everything wrapped. Mum cried, oh thank goodness, everyone clapped. In the doorway, Dad stopped for a mistletoe kiss, telling Mum, pucker up, you're my number one wish. Gran said, who wants a nightcap? Make mine a sherry. I'll do cocoa for the kids, said Pat. Won't that be merry? And then I saw Santa on his sleigh in the sky. He looked down and grinned and waved me goodbye. And I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. And that was 'Twas the Fight Before Christmas, a parody. I hope you have all enjoyed this holiday gift from me to you. Enjoy the holidays, whatever you celebrate. Until next time, until I return, see you later.